Hi, I'm Pete Kutzer from the Orvis Fly Fishing Schools. Today we're going to talk about that backcast and making a good backcast. I tell folks all the time, I think the backcast, that's the foundation for a good cast. We want to make sure that we get that nice loop rolling out behind us. That makes that forecast so much easier. So I'm going to talk about a couple different types of backcasts we can make, be it a high angle backcast or a backcast going straight back. And the one backcast we want to be a little bit wary of, and that's one that's kind of dipping down. Also, I'm going to talk about making a curve on your back cast. That can also be a little detrimental to that nice loop on the forward cast. So when we're casting, we want to make sure we make that smooth acceleration. If I take this rod, and watch on this next back cast I'm about to make, if I take this rod and don't get a smooth acceleration and just make an aggressive flick, notice how that line got directed down. Here, I'm going to show you that again. So if I pick the rod up at one speed, aggressive flick, notice that loop is going a little bit downhill. That's not a very good back cast. I'm building actually a lot of slack in that cast, and all that slack makes me have to work even harder to get that line out in front of me. So what I want to try to do is make a nice smooth acceleration to that stop. That's going to get that loop to roll out much nicer behind me. That smooth acceleration to that stop, that gets that line out. Accelerate to that stop, and accelerate to that stop. Now right there I'm making a back cast relatively straight back, and in some situations that's going to work great. Let's say we're on a salt flat, or let's say we're in an open trout fishing area, but in some situations I have to make a high back cast. Let's say we're fishing a very brushy stream, or it's got a lot of high banks, and in that case I want to make that acceleration a little bit sooner and try to send that line a little bit more uphill. So now I get that loop rolling uphill. This is going to help me get that line up over something behind me. Now, when we're making this back cast, okay, we also want to make sure that we're tracking in a nice straight line. So now I'm going to cast at the camera, and I'm going to show you something that I see quite a few people do when we're casting. When we cast, ideally, we want that loop on top, I like to say stacked on top of itself behind us, and that's going to help give us that nice, accurate forward cast. When it's stacked on top, we can get that line to roll right out and come right on target. I've seen a lot of anglers do this. Some even very good anglers have a slight tendency when they make that back cast, rather than getting that loop on top, they have a slight tendency to bring it around to the side. That's a little twist you can see right there, and that deviation from that straight path is going to make me have to work harder on that forward cast. So what I like to envision is almost like I'm pulling that rod straight back. I'm coming straight back to try and get that line to stack right on top of itself on that back cast right there, and that's going to help me get a little bit more accuracy, and it's even going to help with some distance. Straight back, then straight forward with that loop right up on top, be it kind of straight back, that wasn't a very good one, there we go, or a little uphill, make that acceleration a little bit sooner, not too soon, we don't want to cause a tailing loop, but that smooth acceleration, staying in that straight path, that's going to help make that nice tight back cast and get that line to roll right out. And there's a couple things you can do that'll help improve your back cast and help you catch more fish.